Edo people, how on a day? The transition committee team on the part of Monday Okpebholo already threatening to boycott the sitting just because they were not given sitting allowance. They're already demanding sitting allowance for transition committee of how long? Like, how many times are you even going to meet? Now, this is not to say that their time is not highly valued. Their time is valuable. In fact, everybody's time is valuable. They need to be appreciated. But at the same time, this one that they're already asking for sitting allowance, is it that, is this the ground that Monday Okpebholo's administration wants to start from? Is this how, are we going to use this now to justify how the rest of his administration is going to look like? Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here, please subscribe. Most importantly, help us build this channel by clicking on the like button down below and encourage us to put out more content. The Transition Committee of the Edo State Governor-elect, Senator Monday Okpebholo, has threatened to boycott meetings of the joint meetings with a team appointed by the Edo State government over silent protests that they were not getting sitting allowances after the meetings. Senior members of the Okpebholo'S team, it was gathered, demanded for sitting allowance after the Friday, October 18 inaugural joint session, but were told by the Edo State government team as their involvement in the service was considered as service to the state. Now, where this will be a problem is when the other team from Obaseki's administration is if they are getting paid. But if nobody is getting paid, if both teams are not getting paid, so you have no right to start asking for sitting allowance. Although at the same time, this kind of meetings might last for hours upon hours, people will be sitting down distressed and all of that. I think they should be appreciated. If it's not necessary for you to be a lot of money. It might just be a token, like a stipend, because mostly this kind of work should be categorized under selfless service to the state. But both parties, if you are not going to get paid, both parties shouldn't get paid. It should not just be one-sided. It should not just be that Obaseki's team are getting money on the side without those people's knowledge. No. It was also said that the Edo State government transition team did not make provision for the sitting allowance in line with Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration stance on not sharing government money. Sources within Okpebholo'S team who attended the meeting revealed that the leaders were miffed by the fact that they didn't get sitting allowances after the meeting, vowing to boycott subsequent meetings over the matter. According to the source, the leaders are angry. They have insisted that they won't be attending future meetings because they didn't get any sitting allowance after Friday's meeting. This is not how they know government runs. Money is supposed to be shared after the meeting. Another point raised by a senior member of Okpebholo'S team is the fact that the documents they will be getting will be in digital format, as the government team had noted that all government transactions are being conducted on an e-government platform known as eGov. He insisted that a lot of members of the team are not tech-savvy and would find it difficult working with the digital files. Now that these days everything has advanced technologically, paper should not be wasted. In fact, in government offices these days, they should be slowly migrating towards or tilting towards, the technology efficient ways, to save money. You cannot just continue buying paper and biro all of the time when you can do these things. You can store information on the computer and it will last for years. We know how government is when it comes to, keeping papers and, documenting information. They are not so good because this paper and this information that they are documenting on paper will get lost You will not even find it. You cannot need an information. For example, in your saying people who went to government secondary schools, you cannot need an information from, let's say, even 60, 70 years back, and then you will get it intact. There's no way. There are some secondary schools that have been shut down, and people who went to that school, there's no way they can trace, and get their primary 6 living certificate. So government should be tilting towards, utilizing the opportunities that come with technology. You don't say that because you're not technology savvy. So information should be handed to you on paper and not on or online, which we all know as the most efficient way anyway. So this other team, the Okpebholo'S team, instead of them trying to adjust, they are complaining that most of them are not technological savvy. So whose fault is that? The team is not tech savvy. We are used to paper, so we don't know what they are talking about with the old digital files. Our people want files, physical ones. One of the distraught members of Okpebholo'S team lamented. If you are not technological savvy, they can give you an iPad, and then you can be touching the screen and be scrolling up and down just like you do with your phone. I don't think that is very difficult. Government cannot continue wasting money on biro and paper, on stationery for that matter. That reminds me, the House of Senate and the House of Rep, they still collect a stationery allowance every month. When we have more efficient ways of storing information, they still go by stationery allowance, biro, book, paper, and all of those things. Before we go, guys, let's take a look at a few reactions we got online. Omaken says, this is the kind of problem Obaseki has been creating in his political party. How is this a problem? It is not that he will not pay those from his side, though, but because others are not his political party members, he may likely starve them with funds, knowing well how it's been done in the past. This is where I have a problem with this arrangement. I said at the beginning of the video that if both parties are not being paid, that is okay, that's fine. It's not that they will go to the back and pay their own party members and then they will leave the other party. It's not done that way. It's not done. If you know that you want to economize government funds, you don't want to waste money, do it equally. It shouldn't just be that because those people are on your side, you pay them and then you don't pay the other side. And a lot of people have accused Obaseki of doing this. He would of being a kind of person that usually makes sure that he asserts revenge. It takes revenge on people who are not on his side, which is very bad. And if this is the same thing that is playing out here, Obaseki, do it. It was the one that wrote the governor-elect to send representatives to join his side for effective transition, even if they don't ask. Don't they deserve allowance? Or he wants to pay his side and then make governor-elect to pay his own side. Adesanya Remi says, PDP Labour Party propaganda and blackmail is their weapon. Anyway, campaign is over. How is this propaganda? Ikechukwu John says, I'm not interested in the money sharing aspect because I don't know what has been the trend. But as regards IT compliance, if you're not competent, then let the governor-elect get those who can deliver in that aspect. The era of analog is over and you better brace up for the challenges. Exactly. You better brace up and adjust. Don't start complaining. In this 21st century, you're complaining that you're not technology savvy. Like, whose fault is that? Thank you all for always listening and watching. This is where I'm going to stop for now. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.